Hello and welcome to Dream Team Coach TV. I'm Sean Burke. Joining me is Andy Taylor, Henry Lewintit, and the Republic of Azerbaijan. It's Graham Marshall. We've gone geographical.
It's an entire country now.
Not sure that one works that well. I mean, it's all right. It's not your best. It's not your best. It's not your best. Is that all right to say? It's not your best.
Flawless.
Okay.
You don't even have to wiggle, Graz. The mystery word game is still going, so if you don't want to know what it is and you'd like to play along, look away now.
I mean, I think it's pretty obvious he must have given it to Henry because he hasn't been on the show since we've done it like this.
Graz, you don't usually go at people, so I reckon you actually don't have it.
To be fair, I think I've got a higher success rate of calling out the mystery word than either of you since we've been doing it this way anyway.
It's easier when you just watch it, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's easier when you just watch it.
Right. Although Bundesliga is back, English football is still rarer than a vegetable in Jack Townsend's diet. So in the meantime, we're doing the show in the form of a quiz. Our first round is topical, so we can still stay on top of the few things that are actually happening in the world of football. Mm-hmm. Are you guys ready for round one?
Yeah, love a quiz.
Jack eats a lot of potatoes, by the way, in terms of McDonald's shit.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that is a vegetable, sort of.
Okay.
I just sent you all my answers, so.
Oh, wow. This just says your mum, but yeah, I guess. That is an answer, so I can't complain. Mm-hmm. All right, question one. How did Erling Haaland celebrate his goal against Schalke on the weekend?
I don't remember a specific thing. They all just did the... Oh, no, I might be giving it away.
Oh, grass.
I can't remember. I just remember that they... Almost says the answer. Question two. What did South Korean team FC Seoul accidentally use to fill their empty seats?
See, to be honest, Sean, I think that my answer before the round could take a stand for this.
Just one woman, Henry. That's a lot of seats. All right, question three. Nicholas Bentner this week confessed to blowing roughly how much money on Texas Hold'em when he was 19 years old? So, €3 million, €4 million, or €6 million?
You started so much higher than I thought you were going to.
No, I'm pretty sure I got the answer right before you gave the options. Which
yeah.
I'm quite happy about, yeah.
Question four, true or false? On Saturday, BT Sports coverage of Borussia Dortmund versus Schalke received fewer viewers than an episode of Midsummer Murders.
Which episode was it?
That's very important question. That was it. A massive season finale? Was there a huge cliffhanger?
No, I think it was just a standard episode of Midsummer Murders.
Not to be confused with that.
I wonder how many grannies have watched the film Midsummer.
Yeah, I was just about to say. Oh, it's a very different tone.
Question five. Complete the quote from Jurgen Klopp. I didn't learn a lot during lockdown, except Gary Neville has blank.
Interesting.
I've sent my answers. I'm just going for it.
Okay.
There's no point thinking about it. Thinking about it gets you nowhere. I didn't think about it, and here I am today, kids.
You too. The answer to question one, how did Erling Haaland celebrate his goal against Schalke on the weekend? A socially distanced dance. So they all mentioned a socially distanced celebration. So Andy said a 2 meter apart celebration. I'll accept that.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I mean, technically, they also did the
I
stupid
went for
elbow
the elbow
touches.
touch thing,
I went for the elbow touch.
Yeah, because they all did do that.
I just saw the...
So well, you should have watched the full match then, shouldn't you?
I was watching...
Rather than Midsummer Murders, yeah.
Okay, question two. What did South Korean team FC Seoul accidentally use to fill their empty seats? It was sex dolls.
Yeah, Sean's mom.
Or blow dolls. So you've all got that. So look up the photos of that. It's quite funny, I gotta say.
What was their reasoning? Just to fill it out? They didn't realise that it would be met with such negativity.
They also must have known they were sex dolls, right? I mean,
surely.
So I can only assume that they must have seen the Borussia like Mönchengladbach thing with a cardboard cutout and gone, oh, that's a good idea. Have we got anything like that? Oh no, but we've got this like crate load of blow up dolls.
Where do they come from as well? Why do they just have those on hand?
Yeah.
Right. Question three. Nicholas Bentner this week confessed to blowing roughly how much money on Texas Hold'em when he was 19? €6 million.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Where's he Arsenal then? Where did he wouldn't have even had that much money about him, would he?
No. Yeah. All right, question 4. True or false? On Saturday, BT Sports coverage of Borussia Dortmund versus Schalke received fewer viewers than an episode of Midsummer Murders. That is true.
Oh, I went for it.
Yeah, it got 652,000 viewers on average, compared to
Really?
886,000 viewers on average for Midsummer Murders.
So there was a lot of defense. There was a lot of defense of that stat because obviously Midsummer Murders is a free-to-air show watched pretty regular, whereas behind BT Sport we have to pay for it, and everyone usually watches Bundesliga anyway. So they've actually done well to get that many.
All right, question 5. Complete the quote from Jurgen Klopp. I didn't learn a lot during lockdown, except Gary Neville has an opinion on absolutely everything.
Oh.
I mean, mine wasn't actually right, but I think it was close.
I think mine was along the right lines. I went for an ego bigger than Pangea.
I don't know if Klopp would have said that. I just said too much time in his hands.
I just couldn't remember it word for word, but that's literally the premise is there.
No, I'll accept Andy's as well. Okay.
Guys, just keep an eye on the missed word. Don't forget about it.
Oh god, yeah, I forget about it really easily as well. When I don't have it, it goes out of my mind so quickly.
When you don't have it.
When I do have it, it consumes all my thoughts and I say nothing for the whole episode.
Has it been censored?
Yeah.
Pangea then.
What's he say?
Call him Pangea.
He's calling Pangea. He's right.
Cool. There we go.
When was that made? I didn't even hear that.
In Klopp's quote. So Henna's tried to be like, he's got an ego bigger than Pangea. And I was like, don't think Klopp would say that. But
Why didn't he call it out Bandras?
Well, because it seemed like a weird Henry thing.
Well, he did for a few minutes.
Yeah, see, I think you got to call him at the time. I don't like this. I'm not retrospective 5 minutes later giving it a call.
That wasn't 5 minutes later. I mean,
3 minutes later.
I kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
I think if you think something's weird, you can still go back to it.
Look, that has been happening literally since the start of Mystery Word. Everyone has been going, has it been said? Oh, I've sat there with 10 minutes, Jack racking his brains over every single word that I've said for the whole show.
To mark the return of some football last weekend, the theme of this next round will be Deutschland und die Bundesliga. Mach dich bereit, meine Freunde. Question 1. It's safe to say that Bayern Munich have the most German titles, but including pre-Bundesliga, who has the second most? So there's Borussia Mönchengladbach, Borussia Dortmund, or Nuremberg. Question 2. Which player has won the most Bundesliga titles? And there's a bonus point if you can tell me how many they've won. Gerd Müller, Thomas Müller, or Frank Ribery?
The double Müller. That's got to throw us off.
Müller corner. Right, question 3. True or false? Jurgen Klinsmann is the highest scoring German player in Premier League history.
Desperately trying to think of other Germans.
That's just your normal Saturday night, isn't it, Brian?
Yeah, thinking about Klinsmann, thinking about Klinsmann's friends.
Yeah.
Just people he associates with.
Okay, question 4. Thomas Müller has played a very unique role in the Bayern Munich setup, so much so that his position has been given a name of its own. Raumdeuter.
Oh.
What does that mean in English? So if you were to type this into Google Translate, what does it say it means in English?
I was really hoping you were going to ask what the position was called, because I'd already started to try and type out that, knowing I couldn't spell it, and then you said it, and I was like...
I heard you say it yesterday in a chat, coincidentally. So
yeah.
But what's it mean in English? Okay, and question 5. How many trophies did Pep Guardiola win as Bayern Munich manager? So I have some options, don't worry. Is it 7? Is it 10? Is it 14?
I couldn't think of that. Another decent German player.
I couldn't either, which informed my decision.
I thought Sane, maybe.
All right, question 1. Who has the second most German titles? It is Nuremberg.
Is it? I should have just gone with my gut instinct of that being a
not
weird one.
I couldn't. Yeah. I mean, I remember them winning. Well, I kind of remember them winning the Champions League and everything. I just thought, and that stadium, the setup, they must have just had such.
I think it was the Sean said before the Bundesliga.
Yeah,
so I was like, this must be back in the 60s, 70s.
Pre-Bundesliga as well. Question 2. Which player has won the most Bundesliga titles? Right, let's see your answers here. Andy said Gerd Muller with 9. Graz says Gerd Muller. Didn't even guess at the amount. Graz.
Oh, I didn't know I had to put an amount.
Oh, he didn't fancy
You
it.
have to.
Yeah.
And then Henner said Thomas Muller with 11. The answer is Frank Ribery.
No way.
What?
Yeah.
Ribery?
Yeah,
How many has he got then? Do you know?
9.
Oh, so
Oh,
I've got
okay.
the number. Oh, can I have the
Number.
number then, please?
No.
I mean,
Does that counts if
Come
you've
on.
got the wrong player?
Definitely not.
Yeah, but I've
based
got
on
the right
previous
number.
based on previous questions, Sean will say yeah. So
I've literally
Don't know
got the
about
number.
Did you got the wrong player?
All right, question 3. True or false? Jurgen Klinsmann is the highest scoring German player in Premier League history. That is false.
Who is it?
It's Mesut Ozil.
Is it?
Yeah.
I completely
He
forgot
doesn't
he
even
even
come
existed.
on my radar.
No.
I don't
Yeah,
think about
I know.
decent
I wouldn't
players.
have either. I almost put it in like as in Mesut Ozil as the highest scoring player and made that true or false. But I feel like that would have alerted you to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you would have been like, what?
Wow.
Question 4. Thomas Muller has played a very unique role in Bayern Munich, but what does his position Raumdeuter mean in English? It means space interpreter.
Interpreter. That's the other word I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
To make
Sounds
one
like
word.
a weird kind of interior designer.
Yeah.
A space interpreter and not an interior.
It's very, very Marie Kondo.
I'm not Lauren
Yeah.
Lawrence Llewellyn Bowen.
I love what you've done with the corner flag. I love it. All right. Question 5. How many trophies did Pep Guardiola win as Bayern Munich manager? 7.
Oh, sakes. Sorry.
It's fewer than I guessed.
He bottled the treble twice, didn't he? Because he did really bad with, well, not badly, but never got to win the Champions League.
Did anyone even get a point there?
I got
didn't.
1 point. I got Nuremberg.
Well, while we're on the topic of the Bundesliga, I actually got to chat to Erling Haaland after last weekend's match. Let's see what he had to say.
Erling, great to see you playing again, but someone told me you started posting nudes on the internet for a bit of extra cash during lockdown. Is that true?
Yes.
I think that's a bit weird. Like, why?
Why not?
I guess it's just a bit unusual for a professional footballer. Most people would think you're alright for cash, you know? I mean, who are you sending them to?
To my fans.
Is it good money?
It is.
Might have to look into it. Well, congrats on the win. It looks like a few of you guys have been working hard in the kitchen over the past couple of months, if you know what I mean. Have you been surprised by just how much gut has been on show today?
Many guys on my team have been working hard in this period, and I'm not surprised, no.
How many chicken nuggets would you get through as a team each week? Like 60,000, 70,000?
Normally it's 80,000, but
Right, but that's at a professional level. Like, I've been getting through about 200 a week. How's that for an amateur?
a good start.
Erling Haaland, thank you very much.
Next up, it's the player round where we focus on the career of one player in particular. And this week, it's Wayne Rooney. From golden boy to oh boy, he's had quite a career, giving me plenty of juicy questions. Henry, you should be, I guess, feeling
Yes.
confident.
I hope so.
You'd hope so, but they're not necessarily all Manchester United.
Exactly.
So, question 1. He made his debut against which London team? Question 2. How many Premier League titles has he won?
Oh, you gotta work out who won some in between, haven't you? I think that's the way.
Okay, question 3. Which team did he score a hat-trick against on his Champions League debut?
Oh, I literally watched the game as well. That's so horrible.
All right.
Yeah.
Question 4. True or false? He has more assists than he has yellow cards in the Premier League.
Oh, it's got to be close. You don't do this sort of question unless it's pretty close.
Yeah, that's right.
Was he big on assists?
Everyone else is big, Graham. Pangaea.
Right, okay. I didn't know where that was going. I mean, I kind of been the only one who didn't really know what was going to happen there.
At least it was family friendly, I guess.
Yeah.
Educational, if anything.
Educational, yeah.
Question 5. How many goals did he score at World Cups with England?
Yeah,
1, 2, or 3?
yeah, I knew it wasn't going to be many.
It's hard to
That's
distinguish between Euros and World Cup in your head as well. Isn't it?
Yeah.
And you all fell into my trap for
What?
question 1. Which team did he make his debut against? Which London team? It was Spurs.
It wasn't Arsenal.
No, he
thinking of that
scored
goal?
against them, yeah.
Yeah, that
Ah.
wasn't his debut.
I don't remember that. Spurs do not remember that.
I mean, to be fair, why would you remember Spurs Everton from back then?
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't remember it, and I'm a Spurs fan. Like, I've got no memory of it whatsoever.
That'd be a solid mid-table.
Question 2. How many Premier League titles has he won? 5.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, a couple of you got that. Question 3. Which team did he score a hat-trick against on his Champions League debut? Fenerbahce.
Oh, it was then.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
swear on my life, that was just a proper random guess.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Question 4. True or false? He has more assists than he has yellow cards in the Premier League. True.
Oh.
He has 103 assists, 102 yellow cards.
Oh, I knew it would be close. I knew it would be very close.
Wow. Yeah. And question 5. How many goals did he score at World Cups with England? Let's see what you wrote here. 2, 2, 2. 1.
That's it.
Yeah.
What was that? Do you know what that goal was?
Yeah, he scored against... Oh, it doesn't say. I don't know.
He scored against Uruguay in 2014 World Cup.
Well, the game we got knocked out in, wasn't it?
Lost 2-1.
Yeah. So he scored in the most inconsequential moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Suarez scored a brace against us.
Yeah.
Suarez took 1-0. Rooney scored in the 75th, and then we lost to Suarez again. Oh, dear.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't need reminding of that, really. That was quite a bad sign.
Yeah, and I just feel sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Last but not least, I have recreated an infamous or famous moment in my gaff using just what is available to me at home. Can you name the moment?
Righty-ho. Oh, here it is. Oh, hello. What's going on here?
Ignore the short.
That's brilliant.
I don't fully remember who it was, though.
It's still going on.
That's it.
Oh, which manager was it?
Yeah.
The only person to get it right is Andy. It is Roy Keane, and somebody's phone went off in a press conference, and he was not very happy.
Couldn't remember who it was.
Not a phone, is it?
Whose phone is that? Whose phone is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. And then he doesn't turn it off. That's the mad thing. He lets it ring.
What does that do to the score, Sean?
Good question. Let me just tot these up.
It's a tight battle for last place here, Graham.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd saved myself a little bit in the Rooney round, but it was such a god-awful Bundesliga round that I don't think it matters.
Right. Well,
17, I think.
we have the final scores. In last place this week, or in third place, if you'd rather look at it that way.
I would.
Yeah, it's Graham Marshall.
I had a feeling.
Top to bottom. Wow.
Upsetting.
In second place this week, with 6 points, is Henry Lewin Tit.
I thought it must be.
And finally, this week's winner, with 8 points, is Andy Taylor.
Cheers, lads.
Oh, bloody Roy Keane.
Bloody Roy Keane.
And I got done out of number 9 titles.
Oh, come on, mate.
don't
You didn't
even
get
go
done.
there.
Don't even bother.
And finally, it's time to pick up where we left off with our ultimate teams. Each one of us will pick our all-time ultimate team going from position to position with each passing week. Last week, we picked an attacking midfielder or winger each. But this time, we're going to pick another midfielder, probably a second central midfielder. So, what are you saying, guys? Henners, let's start with you.
I mean, I think that it's pretty obvious which pool of players I'm going to be picking from. Manchester United have had some great midfielders in the Premier League era. You know, Eric Jemba, Tom Cleverley, Anderson. It's really hard to choose from that lot. But you know, there's the obvious ones, Roy Keane, Scholes, Parkinson. I know you saw recently Rooney came out and gave his plaudits about Park in, I think it's the Champions League final. He was saying, everyone thinks Ronaldo won it for us, but it's actually Park who made the difference. Unreal player. But looking at the team we've got, it seems quite attacking. We've got 2 fullbacks who are going to get forward. Letizia is not going to do any work defensively. So I'm going to go for Michael Carrick. Player I absolutely love. Absolutely love him. Does everything that you want a kind of defensive, solid midfielder to do. Can drop in centre back, but also can pick a pass. I don't know how we didn't get more caps for England. I think it was a travesty. Yeah. We're also saying that, one thing we've got to have in here, he's got 1 trophy. He's won everything.
That's true.
It might have been someone like him that could have sorted out that golden generation as well.
I think so, yeah.
There's someone who's not as well known, not as well appreciated, but actually does a lot of the work that no one sees.
That's a great shout. I think underappreciated, like you say, until you mentioned it, really. And he has won it all as well.
Where did he begin his career, boys?
West Ham, I think, wasn't it?
No, I'm talking before that.
Oh.
Wall's End, boys?
Yeah.
Yeah, Wall's End,
So Shearer and Carrick coming through the same...
Not only started his career there, but also is, I think, created the foundation that keeps him running today.
Mm. Oh, really?
A nice guy as well.
Good lad, yeah.
What did you think of him at Spurs, guys? Because when United signed him, I was like... it's a good signing, but it's like...
I was gutted, but I didn't think he would necessarily make the leap. So for Spurs, he felt like a bit of a luxury player for us at times because he hadn't started to grow into his tempo dictating thing, and we often played him a bit further forward. And I don't think he had the regular goal scoring sort of attributes that you need if you're going to play a bit further forward. But when he left, I was gutted because he was a young player, an English player who we'd stolen off of West Ham, which is always fun. For him to go and actually make that leap was a bit gutting to watch because if he'd stuck around with us for a bit longer, the team that we started to have after that, if he'd have been around in the sort of
alongside Modric and Van der Vaart,
exactly him and the Modric, Van der Vaart, Bale kind of era would have been.
Who was he alongside? Like Davids and that.
It would have been like Davids and maybe like Genus or something like that. It wasn't. Wasn't it? Yeah. Oh god, Edgar Davids. We could talk about Edgar Davids a lot.
I mean, I think it's just because of social media and everyone's jumping on the Jordan Henderson bandwagon now. Now, obviously, he's a top player, Henderson. Let's not get that wrong. He's a very good player, but I don't think he's anywhere near the level that Carrick was at.
No, not at all.
No. But it's just because those players are rarer and rarer that we're starting to cling on to them more. Like we're clinging on to Henderson because he does that job. It's so odd because people in the modern day though judge players off compilations on YouTube and how good their FIFA stats are. Like Henderson on FIFA, you probably wouldn't sign him.
Right, Andy, who would be your pick?
Well, I think it's hard, isn't it? Everyone does these best 11s and stuff, and I think Scholesy probably deserves to get in there straight away because loads of titles, just unreal player. But everyone has Scholes in their team, so I've tried to look a little bit different. But let's not forget that Scholes is an absolute legend. Yeah, it was between Roy Keane and a certain player for Chelsea from the early Mourinho years.
I think we've gone very similar. I think that's where you're going.
Well, he had a role named after him.
Yeah.
So straight away for me that means iconic player, someone who has literally a role named after them. I don't know if you had it at school, but everyone was like, "Oh, I'm playing the Makelele role today" because they were just doing a bit of dirty work in the middle of the park.
Yeah.
Obviously, from a stats point of view, he's won a couple of titles. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like if you spoke to a lot of people on that Chelsea side, they would say that he was the key to everything.
Yeah.
Just as Leicester say a lot was to do with Kante. I think Makelele did a similar role. Probably was a better player than Kante, I think as well.
Definitely better defensively. I know Kante started to work a bit more on going forward. I know when Sarri was playing him supposedly out of position, he was getting forward a bit more, whereas Makelele was definitely not known for his goals. But I think that's why it's hard. So, I mean, I went Makelele as well. But I think that's why it's hard to sort of qualify how good he was unless you saw him play.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I tried to look up his stats. And so the Prem stats, prior to 2006, 2007, which was his last season pretty much, official Prem stats didn't track, this is for defence, clean sheets, goals conceded, tackles, tackle success, last man tackles, blocks, interceptions, clearances. Like, I mean, all the sort of things that Makelele was doing every game, and like his reading of the game was insane.
Just to like remind ourselves of what regard he was in the World 11 in 2004-5. The midfield three was Zidane, Makelele, and Lampard, and then the front three was Ronaldinho, Eto'o, and Shevchenko.
Yeah.
So, like, he was regarded as an absolute baller. I mean, like Henderson, for instance, he's not getting in the World 11 this year.
No.
So that's kind of like...
Well, not unless it's a fan vote.
Yeah. It's so easy to get wrapped up in modern day, and like I think it's so hard to do these because, you know, all you've got in your head is like De Bruyne scoring worldies and like Henderson being such a leader. But like... Makelele for that spell was just unplayable.
I mean, like, it's worth noting that he came to Chelsea from like Real Madrid. Like, he was like upper echelon of football even before he was at Chelsea. Like, that was towards the end of his career.
Right, 2 out of 3, Makelele.
Yeah, I think he'll complement Letizia quite well in there. Actually,
I think he will. Yeah. Allow him to do bits.
I think that's a great show.
And provide, you know, some much needed cover for Trent.
Yeah, that's true.
Doing a lot of work down that side.
Yeah, with Trent and Ronaldo. I mean, no one is tracking that down that right side, are they?
Right. Well, that is about that. If you've enjoyed the show, please click like, leave a comment, and remember to subscribe to the channel so we can continue making Dream Team Coach. And click the little bell icon as well so you get a notification every time we upload. We're uploading stuff several times a week these days, so there's plenty for you to watch.
Check out Sim Saturday.
Yeah, and check out Sim Saturday as well. That's a couple of times a week. We do Champions League. We're basically simulating Champions League games that would have happened and Premier League and FA Cup games that would have happened. It's just like the real thing, except done by us, bunch of fools.
Probably also time to start actually dusting off your fancy football heads as well, because Premier League
could be coming back soon.
Back soon. Do you know what I was doing? I was sitting in one of the Sim Saturday games the other day. I was like, "Oh, McGinn, he scored. That's good for my draft team."
Oh, draft. Oh, I was doing well in draft. I was up there.
Oh,
with, me and you at the top.
Mate, we've still got some money in the locker as well.
Yeah, exactly, mate.
Right.
There's a lot to be sorted out in the next couple
Wow. They better finish the league now. There's money at stake.
I just forgot about it. My vested interest. Right, let's get the league.
Project Restart. Let's get it going.
Change it into pound coins.
All right, well, that's all from us, folks. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Dream Team Coach TV. Look after yourselves, and we'll see you again next week.